Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me today on my shamaness journey. If you guys have headphones, please take them out. I have no control over my nephew's dog and his mother. I have no control over that, and I'm trying my best to put my content out, okay? And I'm not going to work my life schedule around for energy vampires. I'm not going to worry about them anymore. So I'm going to do me. So hi everyone. My name is Samara Andara. I am a walk-in soul. I also have shamaness medicine woman gifts, and we are going to talk about energy sabotage today. We're going to talk about a little bit more about energy harvesting. Okay, we're going to talk about how energy vampires harvest and suck your own energy, as well as how they place obstacles in your path and try to restrict your growth so you don't go far or even succeed in the littlest way, because these individuals were born without a godlight, and they're so deeply insecure and they're so deeply flawed that every little thing is so like insecure, and then they project. So I'm gonna start off by burning a little bit of sage, okay, because we want to deflect that negative energy. I also want to talk more about destiny swapping, as well as energy harvesting. As you can see, I wasn't feeling at my best today. I was getting spiritually attacked over the past 3 nights and days, but I always come back just as stronger and quicker. I don't let them hook into me the way that before, when I wasn't unaware, I would easily be, influenced, but now I'm going to do me. And my life's purpose is to shed my medicine woman gifts, shed all of my spirituality gifts with you, so I could help you become a better you, and just let this light out of me, as well as my love, because I really am a gift to the world and planet, and I have so much spiritual involvement and so much knowledge and higher wisdom to share with mankind to help you guys. So I'm going to be burning this. And this is just some, sage to cleanse out the, negative energies. And so what is energy harvesting? Energy harvesting is when people, or the better term is really energy vampires, because if you are a person and you're vibrating from a higher vibration up here, 7D, 12D, and then a low vibrational person, because they're feeling unwell, or they're feeling bad, or they're feeling insecure, they want to project on you. So what they do is they try to make you upset. They try to push your buttons by saying something to you to trigger you and get you in your feelings and get you to react. Or if they don't say anything, it could be indirect. So they could say it to someone else, but it's really meant for you. Or they can do something, and then if the attacks are very malicious, they will mess with your stuff. They will throw your things away. They'll throw them into the trash bins. They'll throw them into the lake. They will damage your things and really just be vibing from that lower vibrational energy field. So this is why we cleanse, and this is why we protect ourselves. And I'm going to do the back of you as well, and I'm going to be doing some cord cutting. So energy harvesting is when somebody takes you out of your calm, tranquility element because they're insecure, or, maybe they need therapy, or something's not working in their life, or they just don't feel good and they just want to fuck with you. So what they're going to do is they're going to be like, okay, how can I fuck with her today? How can I bother her? Okay, and how could I get this reaction out of her? Let me go and throw some things away. Let me move some of her things away. They'll break those boundaries. They have no boundaries, and they're born without a God light, without a source light, without the connection to the divine. So they need to hook in to us higher vibrational beings, us healers, us shamanesses, us medicine women, so they can siphon our energy and take our good energy. And then what ends up happening is it's almost an energetic exchange, because energy harvesting, they're taking your energy. So what happens is that they feed off of your good energy that you use to create and to be happy, and they really end up stealing your joy. And then you end up feeling heavy, depressed, blah. It's like you take on their lower vibrational emotions, And a lot of times you don't even realize this. And then sometimes it's, they will energetically attack you. They'll do character assassination to the point where they will ruin your reputation in other like groups of people's eyes. This also can fall under narcissistic triangulation. They also will, hold these negative narratives and view you as a villain in their story when it's really decompressed or subconscious trauma that they need to heal from, that they're taking all of this and they're projecting this to you. So what we need to do is we need to clear this out. We need to use this right here, like sage baths. You could even take a real bath, and you can make an organza bag with herbs to cleanse your aura daily. So I'm going to show you how you can do this. So just say here's the organza bag. I'm just going to take this out. This is an example. And if you prefer to do spiritual showers, that's fine too. So we're going to this is an example. So you kind of want a smaller one, but if this is the one that you have, and the whole purpose of this is to not clog your drain with the herbs. So you're going to take your herbs. So I'm going to take a bit of rue herb, because this is a very highly protective herb here. And it's not goat's rue, it's just regular rue. And what you're going to do is you're going to intentionally place your intended emotion or your intention in it, okay, to push away or banish or deflect, or I reject the energy vampire cord. I reject the cord that they have to siphon my power, to siphon my good energy, to siphon my creativity, to kill and dead and reject all spiritual attacks from energy vampires. And then you can place a protective crystal in your bag as well. And you could do this with many more protective herbs in here. Okay, I should have honestly used this one. So like this is black tourmaline and some black obsidian. So you can just, you want to cleanse your crystals through sage baths, like smoke of sage. So you want to cleanse this black tourmaline, and you want to be like, thank you for protecting me and for pushing away all psychic spiritual attacks. Thank you for pushing away and for deflecting and rejecting all energy vampire spiritual attacks, or anything that you want. And then you want to put that in there, right? Okay, and then you want to put in more herbs, which I have. Put regular basil in here. This wards off as well, as long as you place the intention. And every single herb has their own gifts and property. I ward off all energetic vampire attacks. And then you could place, some star anise, or what's better, you could place clove in your, clove is really good to counteract psychic attacks, spiritual attacks, as well as you could even put some white sage. You could put, what I have? I have just the thing. So you could put herba santa in here, which is great. I also want to burn some of this right now. And then you could just be like, I push away and deflect and reject energy vampire spiritual psychic attacks. I banish them from my aura, from my physical vessel. Get away from me now. 3 times 3 times 3. As I will it, so mote it be. You have to seal your intention, and then you have to close up the bag, right? And what's really good is putting some salt in it. You could put black salt, or you could put white salt, or if you only have pink Himalayan, you can place this in there as well. And then if you have any oils, that will counteract the attack. So this is just a really good herbal demonstration with the crystal in here to push away, and then like soak for like 25, 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes, whatever, in the bath, whatever your skin can take. So that is a example of how you can counteract energy vampire spiritual attacks, because energy vampires have, unfortunately, telepathic powers if they're a telepathic witch, to where they can not only put their cord of energy, connect it to your chi life force, but they can influence you through this telepathic cord from their thoughts to your brain and your thoughts. And some of them, if they're really like a witchcraft person, or if they're in like their bloodline, like just say like a nephew and his dad, they know how to manipulate. So a lot of energy vampires, one of my nephews is telepathic, and he uses a cord to connect, unfortunately, to the landlord and influence her telepathically of what he wants to happen, and then he'll hook into her, and she's not aware of this, but I am, because I'm so spiritually evolved and awakened, and like whatever he thinks, he tries to hook into me, but I deflect it, and I'm like, no, I am fortified. My energy cords are protected from all energy vampires. I deflect and reject the siphoning of energy vampire spiritual influence and telepathy. That is his energy, that is mine. I break the chains from his energy siphoning, from his projections of his thoughts, his influences, his obsessions. You know, just like when I do it to, like, about his mom, I have to, because she will literally lurk and stand outside my door and like listen to me, or she'll try to sabotage me, like leaving the dog in the cage and try to ruin my plans or create obstacles or problems to try to energy harvest, to try to project and get me out of my calm, tranquility, healer, natural element, to where I will react, and then boom, that's how they suck your energy, when they get that negative reaction. So then you are letting them into your energetic field, you're giving them your good energy, your joy, your happiness, your energy to create, you know what I mean? And then they're like vibing like, okay, so now I'm taking her energy. And then what they will then do is every time they need a pick me up or fix me, or I feel like shit today, or I'm depressed or heavy or whatever, he's angry, then they do the same thing. They'll sneak in, they will try to hook into the landlord, they will try to manipulate with their tongues and tell her negative things about me. You know what I mean? This is examples of what energy vampires do, and how they control their environment, how they siphon and suck your energy, how they are able to influence, whether they have thought influences with telepathy, or whether they have that slick power of the tongue influence. Like my ex-brother-in-law, he is a very negative energy vampire. He hooked into my family, and then he, like, him and my sister got my parents to like marry them and like get away with all this destruction that they did to my mom and dad's house. Like, they sucked the light out of it. It was just a lot of negative vibrational energy, to the point where you know, it sucked not only the light out of the house, but it sucked my mother's bond from me, to where like she's completely sucked into, like, she will, if they feel like damaging my things, she'll partake in the attacks, and she doesn't even realize that she's being siphoned and influenced. So this is why we have to cut and clear, and we have to use these things so we can protect ourselves. So this also would have went in the bag very well, which are cloves. So when energy vampires hook into you and they energy harvest into you, they also create this thing, like as you see in me, I'm like this, because he is using his telepathic gifts, his thought projections, and I hate to call anything with him gifts, but that is a huge power that he has, and I hate to say that, but this is also an example to where, like, certain energy vampires, like his father came in here and was a master manipulator. Like, unfortunately, he was a very evil energy manipulator with his tongue. His father knew how to twist lies into the truth, how to convince my mother to do things that, like, people shouldn't be convinced to do. You know what I mean? And then so, like, her other son, my sister's other son, the younger one, he's more like power of the tongue, manipulative with his voice. But then the oldest son is more telepathic, to where he will have the direct line to the landlord's thoughts and to his mom's thoughts, and he will use that to control his reality, and it's called telepathy. And you have to really be careful with telepathic witches, because it really is It really is detrimental, because what he's doing is he is using it for the worse. He's not using it for the greater good of mankind, okay? A healthy person is not going to go and damage children's and babies' things, or try to poison babies and try to sabotage all of your opportunities. And a healthy-minded person who's vibrating up here is not going to be pushing their narratives and their mind of you onto masses of people, trying to turn people against you, because they're vibrating so low and they need that energy, they need that to be able to live their lives, And then what I noticed about energy vampires is they always have to be around people. And then if they see you and you're a higher vibrational person, and they see you vibing alone, then the rumors will start, and it will be narcissist triangulation rumors, and attacks on your reputation, character assassination attacks. They will be like, oh, well, they'll use things against you, like information about you that should be kept confidential and be respected. Like I said, they have no energetic boundaries. They're energy vampires, as well as they will try to like really wrongfully harm your reputation and the way others view you, to the point where like they will sabotage you. Like, just say, like, as an example, one time he poured bleach on my car, and I was young, okay? I was very young, and I was angry, and I didn't know what was going on, but I knew he poured bleach on my car, so I retaliated, and then he called the cops, and he showed them a tape, but luckily, my spirit guides protected me, because I didn't have a tape of him doing it, but I knew that he was keying my car, he had busted my glass candles, he had, like, ripped off my archangel wings of 3 archangel statues. He keyed my mini fridge, pushed it over, called me bitch repeatedly. And I mean, I don't care how unhealed you are. There's a certain level of respect that you have to have for another human being. If you can't let things go, you need to heal and let things go, so you don't keep repeating this, because eventually your karma is going to catch up to you. And I just, like, I know that he's going to face his really bad deed karma someday. And I feel like it's going to start like in his, like when he's 30, and it's going to last all the way through 40s, because the amount of damage that he has done to me and my children, and just like all of the setups, the manipulations, the smear campaigns, the character assassinations, and I was sitting there trying to protect my baby. I was sitting there trying to protect my children. I was trying to protect our things. And then what they did was, so like I had to do a couple of Baker acts on them. I had to do a Marchman act on him. I didn't want my children to be around people who were using substances and drugs. So I did, as a protective, mama dragon, what any mama dragon would do. She would protect her offspring, okay? And this is what normal people do. They don't take up for the energy vampires and then twist it in their favor. And then what happened was his brother came up, and his wife or whatever, his girlfriend, and then they swore under oath lies, and then they got me hospitalized because I was just protecting my children. So you see, it's like destiny swapping. So this is destiny swapping as well. So if you have, like, just say if you're a narcissistic mother, and you have a hook to, like, if you're a narcissistic mother, you're going to have a favorite child, and she's going to be the golden child, she or he. And what you're going to do is you're going to play favorites, and you are going to be best friends with your golden child. You are going to alienate the child that you don't like that much. You are going to, emotionally diminish her self-esteem. You are going to not include her. She won't be included in dinners. You might favor the energy vampire one, and like be like, okay, like I'm gonna baby this one, and I'm gonna be there for her pregnancy and help her raise her kids. And then it's just like, if she gets like sick, and then she's like in and out of psych wards, and then she's boom, all of a sudden it's like you end up taking care of her kids, and then you have your younger daughter come up, and she's not as your favorite. Maybe she's stronger. Maybe it's maybe something that you don't like in her that like you lack, that she embodies. I don't know. And then all of a sudden it's like you don't show her the same love or the same support system as you showed your favorite child. And that could do damage to the psyche of that least favorite daughter's, the black sheep's self-esteem and her self-worth, to where she'll be attracting these abusive, like energy, emotionally turmoiled, emotionally absent partners in her life, or whatever you couldn't give her or didn't give her, she will attract them in her future spouses or her husband, like whatever, like her boyfriends, or or whatever you showed her when she was growing up. She will attract these types of connections, whether you are emotionally negligent, or whether you always diminished her or dismissed her feelings or dismissed her truth or her voice. She is going to end up attracting a lot of masculines or feminines, okay, who is mirroring back what you showed her. So it's really important to be very conscious of, okay, like I really need to work on me. I need to, I need to not show favorites. I need to, you know what I mean? So like a lot of these things, and then also they could be detrimental to the human psyche and the mental health of the black sheep of the child. And then she has to heal from a range of things that's not even her fault. So then now you have her taking on all of these things, like, okay, surrounding her with crackheads when she was little, or surrounding her with energy vampires her whole life. And she's just trying to live her life and trying to do what she can to not only just survive, but just like live her truth and her light and shine it on mankind. And then so like what the energy vampires do then is they will keep doing character assassination. They will keep twisting other people's narratives of you, turning people against you. They will put your business on blast to where like they will do reactive abuse. So they will do rage baiting. Okay, rage baiting and reactive abuse. They will do something or say something to throw you off your good energy, your calm healer spirit, your tranquil vibe, because they're down here and then you're up here. So they're trying to take that energy because they weren't born with the God light. So what they will then do is they will say or do something to trigger you and get you upset, and then they will feed off of that negative emotion of your upset, whether it's depression, anger, sacred goddess rage, however you react. So the best reaction is no reaction. It took a lot for me to understand what was going on. It took a very, very long time, lots of spiritual battles, lots of shadow work. I had to go in and work on my shadow self. I had to go and live in my car and really get to see how the real world was, on my own, and be a free spirit to the point where I know that eventually it's going to catch up to the lead telepathic energy vampire here who thinks he runs things, because your life goes in phases. It doesn't stay smooth sailing and how you want forever. So eventually all of his bad deeds are going to catch up. This is karmatic, okay? So everything that you send out will always return to you. So what comes around goes around. And this is the law of dharma as well. So you need to be very conscious of what you're putting out there, how you're coming forth to your loved ones. Are you being unfair? Is it from a wound that you're unhealed from in childhood? Do you need to go to therapy? Do you need to, heal with art therapy or heal with however best you heal with? And I'm not talking about, not self-absorption, but I'm not talking about, like self-addictions. Like, don't do drugs, like don't use pills, like the things energy vampires do, those lower vibrations, they will self-medicate. That's the term I'm looking for. So self-medication is what a lot of lower vibrational parasite people like energy vampires do. So I just want to make this aware, as well as he may be influencing people now and things may be going his way now, but who's to say later on in his life, all of these bad deeds that he put out to, my children, my baby, because my children, my baby, they were affected, all four of them. They were deeply affected emotionally. They were siphoned energetically. They were affected mentally. Some of them were affected physically. He was making them sick. And then he was turning everything to his favor with his telepathic powers to the point where the landlord was always like taking his back. Or, and then like, it was very divided to the point where like the landlord would be like, if he tells her telepathically or with his tongue something, then later on that will imbue in her, and then she will energy transfer that to me. And it's always what he wants. But I know that divine justice will hit very soon, and then his divine injustices will eventually catch up to him. Goddess Mayat, you know, she is the goddess of justice, and she will weigh his spirit and his wrong deeds, his wrongdoings against that feather on those scales, you know, the Libra scale. And it's just like, okay, like, I hope you're prepared for what you've done in this lifetime, because he's built a lot of bad karma up for him, not only the rest of this lifetime for him, from what he's done with my babies and my children and me and our things and my character, you know, my reputation, but he also has created really negative, bad karma for him and karmic retribution damage for him in his next lives. So that's something that he's going to have to work out and work through, basically starting today, because I'm not taking this anymore, okay? And just because I live here, it doesn't mean that if you don't like me or if you can't let go of the past, you know, I've evolved through so many levels and spiritualities that I'm not even that same person that, you know, they condemn or crucify on the cross, like, because it really is a lot of attacks that they have put me and my children through. So I am going to speak on energetic harvesting, energy vampires, parasite spirits, alpha draconians, and how they're fucking mental and telepathic, and how they're very cruel, as well as reptilians, which ties into the alpha dracos, because it's part of the reptilian starseed, and it's the opposite starseed races of my own. And it's like my gifts, they're so profound and powerful to the point where I could tap in and go into someone's conversation if they're going on a walk, or even if they are texting about me. I'm very, very psychically profound, my gifts, and I'm also telepathic, but I don't use my telepathy gifts for the wrong of mankind like he does. He abuses his powers and gifts. I am spreading light and truth and love, and I'm spreading, you know, the beautiful Mother Gaia herbal benefits here, and enlightening you to what is really up, what people don't say, but what their motives are, because I am a soul reader as well as a starseed, a medicine woman, a shamaness. And so we're going to start cord cutting. I just want to do more of this Herba Santa. So like sometimes he has these 3 spirit attachment shadow men, to where they also do his bidding. So whatever he thinks, they will go and ruin it, or they will try to energetically hook into someone's back or neck, or even to my mom's knee, and then they will try and siphon more energy to where that person has pain in their physical vessel or physical body. So this is why we like to cleanse, okay? And I do not take people to this house. The spirit attachment men, they ruin my connections, they ruin my friendships from high school, they ruined my twin flame from me, as well as they partook in sabotaging me from my twin flame with his mother. And it was a secular witchcraft group attack on me, okay? To the point where I had stood up for my children so much, and I was fighting so much in my spirit, to the point where the landlord and everyone destiny swapped me and my sister, and all of their wrongdoings, they're getting away with it. You know what I'm saying? The marriage and everything, my loves were never accepted, okay? She was always like, I'm not going to pay 10 grand for a wedding. I'm not going to pay for a wedding for you. And then it's like, he wished that me and my twin flame would separate, and then she made best friends with his mother, and then my sister was flirting with him, and then it was like they were talking shit, and they eventually turned my twin flame against me, to the point where that's when the abuse really started, when my twin flame and me had parted ways, okay? And then the attacks on my children's things and us started when they sent my twin flame away. So I am here to enlighten you about how wicked, intentioned energy vampires, reptilians, alpha draconians can be. They will have these negative soul ties to each other, to where they will also be always gossiping and slandering you behind your back, doing character assassination to your person, trying to damage your reputation in other people's eyes, or the way other people see you. They want others to see you as the villain, okay? And they want to turn masses of people against you, so they kind of trap you with them, okay, to suck your good energy. So I'm going to be just keep on speaking about my truth here. And I needed to really tell the masses of this. I don't care if one person sees this. I don't care if 16,000 people see this or 16 million people see this. But it's out there about energy vampire siphoners. And he's part of the Alpha Draconian Reptilian star race, which is complete opposite of the Lemurian star race. They blew up Lemuria. They blew up Atlantis. They bombed Mintaka, on Orion, and this is where I'm from. So I have past starseed lives as well as past lives on this earth realm in different countries. I have star constellation lives, and I'm very evolved. And it was very hard to dumb myself down for mortals who are not awakened. And, so like, for example, his brother wrote on the when he falsely swore in front of the judge, saying that my spiritual gifts were mental illnesses, and the judge approved it. And then all of a sudden I was hospitalized for like 5 days, and then I went to a hotel for about a month, like 3.5 weeks. Then I applied at a job, and then I was sabotaged from that job because that energy was clinging to me, and I was trying to clear. I was doing lots of cord cuttings. I even started my own YouTube channel in the hotel, and I started doing it. And then all of a sudden they came and they found me, and then they started attacking to the point where I ended up going to a rescue mission, like a homeless shelter. And then I got targeted and attacked there. So their energy was following me, and it gets really heavy and deep, to the point where when I'm with like normal people, I don't like to talk about them. I'm enlightening you guys because this is energetic, this is spiritual. It really is, especially if the energy vampires have telepathy gifts, or they're using witchcraft to their advantage, baneful magic, malicious magic, malefic spell work on you, which him and his brother and his father have used on my family and on me to get their way and to take over my mother and father's house, hook into my mom's mind, influence her against me, get away with all their injustices, okay? And then make me look like the bad guy and project their character onto me, which is very wrongful, which falls into destiny swapping. So I just want to do a little bit more of this. I just want to get this Herba Santa good so I don't, waste any. I don't like to waste my herbals. Their Mother Gaia's gifts. And it's a little bit warmer today, but we're going to go into a really cold, cool front for Florida. So it's about to get like 29, 28, 27 outside, like this weekend or next week. And I'm not looking forward to it because, like when I lived in my car in the plaza, I had shed a lot of body fat. It's like sleeping in a dry sauna, waking up with sweat everywhere, and it's like it shrinks your body fat, you know what I mean? It's where you don't even need to get cool sculpting. And then when my wallet got stolen, sometimes I would starve for like 3 days at a time, you know what I mean? And I would just live off of ice cubes, ice chips, or like, if a McDonald's worker was cool, they would let me have like a free drink. Like, it was really sad, like how me and my kids were exiled from my mother and father's house because the level of hatred, the level of energy vampire projections, and the level of just because it was a price I had to pay for standing up for me and my babies, for standing up for me and my children, and I had to pay for something that I shouldn't have paid for. So they destiny swapped and they switched it, okay? And then I heard him walking through the house after one day I saw some gray like ash in my landlord and I's toilet in the master suite because I don't use their bathroom, and he was talking to his brother, who's very much a negative tongue manipulator like their father, saying, oh, the tables have turned, they're yonder. And like I said in my last video, I had gotten vertigo, which is like the room spitting, crazy dizziness, and I was vomiting into bags on my bed. I couldn't even get up, I couldn't eat, I was getting wicked acid reflux. And so whatever was in that toilet that had splashed up on me, it affected me from like the beginning of December until recently, and I just took it off. Like, it took me phases to get it off. I had to order like Quita Maldición, Yagruma, Siempre Viva, Miracle Leaf of Life. I had to get Angelica. I mean, it's always a constant attack. And then with the way my nerves are from the trauma, it's hard for me to go back into the matrix as well as my spiritual involvements. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard for me sometimes to work. It's not hard for me to work with other people, but The minute they start their character assassinations, or the minute I sense maliciousness, I'm out and I don't take it. So that's why, you know, they had done a lot of harm to me and my babies, my children. So I just kind of want to burn a lot of this away today, because he was trying to hook into my back and my head to where I've had this migraine for 3 days now. And I never have headaches or migraines. So this is some mental magic him and his brother and his mother and probably his father are doing, because he's starting to work with his dad now. And I love herbs. They get really messy, but it's Mother Gaia's plant properties, you know. And I kind of want to bring the zeal and the zest back into life. And I want to burn some really good herbs to counteract all of this. Just kind of close up my excuse me. We're going to burn some of this. I love Spice Island. I get this at Publix or Walmart. It's a really good herb. It's a really good brand. Some more rubbed sage. Oops, a little bit too much. And some more Herba Santa. So what we're going to do is we're going to just light this baby up with the intention. I banish negativity. I banish negativity from energy vampires. I banish spiritual attacks. I banish energy vampires and alpha draconians and reptilians targeting on my character. I exile their line of energies to me. I diminish, cancel, cut, clear, and delete, and reject the line of spiritual attacks and psychic attacks that they have attached to me. I reject it now and go away and leave. You're not welcome here. 3 times 3 times 3, as I will it, so will it be. So you have to affirm, and then you have to seal it. This is why I do the 3 times 3 times 3, 369 frequency. 999, okay, is all about manifesting. So when you're in the 999 frequency, you are pulling, you know, your words and everything that you do pulls it directly into your 3D reality. So if I'm speaking about this, you know, they might try to come harder. But if I banish them and say, I am fortified, my energetic boundaries are protected, I cut, cancel, clear, delete any siphoned energy through any lines and projections from energy vampires, reptilians, alpha draconians, or any mortal or human that is trying to take and use my good energy for their energetic life force or for their pleasure. And I banish all destiny swappers. I banish and cut and kill those cords to any destiny swapping spells. Okay, so, and then, like I said, they will try to plot on your demise. Like they will plot and, you know, on your downfall to the point where they know what they're doing wrong, and then they'll mask it with like keeping company or inviting a friend over or talking more shit to that friend or that company about you and saying you're the problem when, you know, you don't even address your issues to why you attacked me and my children. You never took accountability for it. And I will never get apologies, and I don't want apologies from them because they're going to be insincere and ingenuine anyway. So they might as well save it, and they never will because they won't take accountability. You know, some people just won't take accountability because they're grimy, they're low vibrational, they're bad character, you know, people. They have no, not vindication, but they have no integrity, and they have no dignity. They don't have anything in good character, you know. And unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way that my mother was taking their side and that she had a black heart like them. And when I saw what she did to my babies and children, I was like, wow, like, that's you right there. You know what I mean? Because like they hooked into her so much to the point where she started running with them and moving like them. And like they all will like be on the phone, and they always have to have like a phone call or to suck and siphon someone's energy. So like if they're not physically hanging out with someone, you best believe they're going to be at the gym working out with someone or on the phone for hours with someone trying to suck their chi life force energy. And then sometimes they make friends with other energy vampires and they feed off of each other's energy. Or like when me and my kids leave, they end up fighting each other sometimes, okay? So they go into the battle together, which I've left a multitude range of times, you know? And forgive the look today, guys. I'm not put together my well best self, but I'm trying my best to enlighten you guys, and I'm trying to get these attacks off of my physical vessel, my back, because he was trying to hook into my back, and then I will get it off of you guys as well. He was trying to hook into my shoulder blades and my back. We had a moment in the kitchen to the point where he was using the stove and I needed to use the stove. Or like they'll try to tell me what to do and try to control my life. Like knowing the levels of trauma that they've done to me, knowing my spiritual involvement, my gifts, telling me to go enter into the matrix so I could pay the head reptilian, which is the landlord. And that's from him. Like him telling her to tell me to do this. And then like his mother also will put this in the landlord's head about me. Okay? And I can, but only until I get attacked. I will not put up with sneaky people, malicious intentions. I cannot work around people with malicious intentions. So that is what energy siphoning and energetic vampiring is, as well as energy harvesting and destiny swapping. So what we're going to do is we're going to cleanse this, and we are going to pull and cut. We're going to cut the cords from this negative energy, vampire siphoning. You know, and I was trying to rest a lot today and regain my energy because they were siphoning my good energy. And I still put videos out yesterday and today and all of these days where they were attacking me because I know that this is my life's purpose. And no matter how I feel, I'm going to speak on all of this. I'm going to enlighten you guys to people's ill will motives, the evil eye, and all of their attacks. So last night, his mother and my mother partook in a walk together, and I felt them talking so much ish about me. Just so much crap. To the point where today I was told to keep the pit bull in my room. It was supposed to be for an hour and a half. It ended up being for almost 4 hours. So I ended up, you know, first I did like 2 videos, and then I ended up resting because of my pain after he put that pain into my back the other day, and I felt his mental magic on me, okay? And then he tries to make me look bad, so then he will go to his crackhead father, who is the master manipulator energy vampire, who is a painter in Daytona, and then he will help him get some work to where I look like a scumbag in their eyes, you know, and then he tells her that I'm a trash bag and all of these nasty things about me, saying that she doesn't work 9 to 5. Where's her contribution? Okay, my father would have wanted me and my children to be in his house to be taken care of, and I will speak on this. This is not their house. You know, they have no right to intrude and then to manipulate and hook into the landlord, which is my mother. They have no right to control my lives, and they have no right to abuse me like this spiritually. And abuse my things, you know how many things they've damaged of mine, all of my cars. He ripped off the, handles to my cars. He's done so much damage to my personal belongings because he is such a awful, low vibrational, dark entity to the point where he can't let go of shit, to the point where he just wants to vibe in these, lower vibrational frequencies and just be a rotten, ill will person. And that is catching up to him now. I saw a vision. I'm not going to say it, but I'm very visionary, and I see, premonitions and visions of what's to come. I also can get deja vu to where it happened, and then I'll dream of it before this, and I'll be like, oh wow, this really happened. And, it's really happening. And I have claircognizance, which is feeling, and then clairsentience, which is psychic feeling, and then claircognizance, which is knowing. So I just got his digestive issue out of me that he tried to put in me, and now I'm working on getting the hooks that he placed in my back when I was in the kitchen, and I passed through the house when he was preparing something the other night and then the other day. So he's really been an intruder in my life, and he's really been that type of abusive character in my life, and he's abused my children, and he's gotten away with it because it was all of these energy vampires' words against mine, to where they character assassinated me, they twisted the truth to lies, and the firefighters and the police and even the judge fell for it, okay? Which was very wrongful. And then the other day, she tried to rage bait me, his mother, and then she lied and then said, you can't even take care of your kids. Your kids aren't even here because you and your sons attacked us and influenced mom to kick us out of mom and dad's house. And she listened because she was so easily influenced by this black witchery, archonic, nasty, low vibrational energy vampire, your son, who was from Matthew, which is her ex-husband. And so it all goes back to that, okay? It's lots of generational trauma. So they brought a curse to my father's house because before the Buchanans came here, my parents, we would have parties in Heathrow and Windermere. My mom would cook. It was lots of light. Like, you know what I mean? There was like gatherings. And then right when he came here, it's been more than hell, okay? It's been just darkness, attacks, like so many things that they got away with. Like, she was in and out of psych wards, Baker acted over 100 times in her life. And then I had to watch her kids, and I had to help my mother raise her kids and babysit. And then now that I have children, they can't even do the same for me. They want to kick my children out and be like, oh, well, their fathers need to go and take care of them. It's like, okay, well, Matt never took responsibility for Cody and Christian. It makes absolutely no sense, and I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to pay their karmic retribution and their karmic debt back very, very soon for what they're doing and what they've done and what they've gotten away with. So I know that my injustices, or their injustices on me, better yet, are going to become my divine justice, because soon the tables are going to flip back on them, and they're going to have to pay the ultimate price and penalty for the consequences of what they've done. So I'm sorry if this was 46 minutes of, like rambling, but I needed to get this out of my system, and I needed to cut cords. And sometimes I feel like I'm Goddess Persephone, who was abducted by Hades, him being Hades, my older nephew. He's not older than me, but he's the oldest nephew. He's 28 and I'm 41, but he thinks he runs shit here, and he really doesn't run shit. And I see right through that mess. I see right through it, and I know everything about them. So it's just like, he could be a wolf in sheep's clothing and act like he's, an angel in everyone's story and act like he has good intentions, but I know that bastard, and I know what he's done, and he knows it. He knows that I know. They all know that I know, and that's why they don't like me. And I'm very strong because I've defeated their attacks, and they've seen me come up from the mud. They've seen me walk through the damn fire. They've seen me go to hell. They've brought hell to me many times, and they've seen me walk right through it. Okay, so I'm a very strong individual or intellectual because of these attacks, and it's built me as a warrior. And then before that, I was an angel incarnate to a goddess incarnate, and then a fallen angel. It felt like a fallen angel, but it was really their dark energies that I was embodying and picking up on and feeling, and it was never my energy. So that's one thing that you really have to recognize, and realize as well, is that sometimes what you're feeling is not even embodying your own energy. Sometimes what you're feeling is someone else's energies and emotions, and it's not even your own. So don't carry it, So you can come back to my videos, and I will gladly cut these cords out of you. And I want to do a pineal gland slice, like right here, because when they hook into you, they will make you feel confused or angry to where you'll be like this. So we're just going to okay. So I did the Seikei Reiki symbol in there. So this is what we do. To cut and clear, we burn herbs, we pull, we use my smoky quartz guy right here to cut more cords, as well as the black tourmaline, because they'll hook into you, they'll hook into your back, they'll hook into your head. They'll hook hook into your crown chakra, try to influence you. They'll hook into right here and make you angry or confused or influenced, and you'll just be like walking around all day like that. And this is why we need to cut that. Let me see if I could find an amethyst crystal so I could kind of smooth it over. So I found my beautiful chevron amethyst to where I could just kind of smooth this over for you. Just take some deep breaths and just let it all go for today, because that's all we can do, you know? This has been too long. I'm 41 now, and it took me 40 years to figure out what was going on. Slow as fuck, right? And I was just like, what realm are they from? For years I was like, what realm is this? And then I would ask my spirit guides, and then I was shown, okay, they're from the alpha draconian reptilian energy vampire parasite realm. They're fucking parasites. They're low vibrational as all fuck. Okay, and this was a nice house before they came. This was in the suburbs, a 4-bedroom 2-bath. It was a suburban house. Like, it was nice. Not now. Not after what, like, the closet's ripped off. The blinds are sliced off right here. 2 were missing. I had to put them back, but he sliced them off. The door was missing. I had to freaking put a new door in this. It was awful, and it was just demented, and it was allowed. You don't spend a lifetime trying to take someone down because you can't forgive them for a deed that you didn't like that they did, or because you can't let stuff go, or because you let your anger and your issues and your hatred run you and you project that on someone. That's not right. So, like, this is why we light our herbs, we set good intentions, right? I'm going to finish off with an highlight right here. And I could feel him hooking me here. I kind of got the attacks off my back, like out of my back for now, but I could feel him trying to talk against my name or my character. He's doing it with his dad right now, and then I felt my sister and my mom doing it on their walk last night. And I'm always excluded. If my sister orders DoorDash or something, I'm never invited to eat. I don't want to sit with them anyway, whether, you know, when they attacked me and my babies and they treat me so awfully. And I've tried to get out many times, and then they just pull and siphon my energy back to where they'll block my job interview, or they will take me from my significant other, break us up. They will do this through their thoughts. So it's very intrusive thought form, telepathy energy. It's telepathic. I hope you guys had a great session today. Thank you so much for allowing me to open up and tell you and use my live examples on energy harvesting, energy vampires, you know, energy vampirism, parasite spirits, lower vibrational spirits, rage baiting, as well as reptilians and alpha draconians. I love you guys. Always shine in your truth. Have your own back and keep pushing forward and be strong and be the warrior that you are. And know that you are the embodiment of love. And I love you and you are important, and never forget it.